Now let's talk about keyboard testing. Keyboard accessibility is fundamental to digital accessibility, and lack of keyboard access is one of the most common barriers we encounter. Why is keyboard accessibility so important? Not everyone can use a mouse or trackpad. People with upper extremity motor disabilities, chronic conditions like carpal tunnel syndrome or tremors, or temporary injuries may rely entirely on keyboard navigation. Screen reader users primarily navigate using keyboard commands, and even people without disabilities sometimes prefer or need to use the keyboard. Think about power users who find keyboard shortcuts more efficient, or someone whose mouse battery died at an inconvenient moment. Here's the good news. Keyboard testing is straightforward, requires no special tools, and can be performed by anyone. You simply navigate through your content using only the keyboard, no mouse, no trackpad, and observe what happens. Let me walk you through the essential keyboard commands you'll use. To move forward through interactive elements, links, buttons, form fields, press the Tab key. To move backward, press Shift-Tab. To activate a link or button, press Enter. Buttons specifically can be activated with the Enter key or the spacebar. To select or deselect a checkbox, press spacebar. To navigate among radio buttons or items in a drop-down menu, use the arrow keys. And to close a dialog or modal window, press the Escape key. That last one is worth emphasizing. If something opens on your screen that you didn't want, a pop-up, a modal, a notification, pressing Escape should close it. This is a standard convention that improves usability for everyone, but it's especially important for keyboard users. I'm going to describe what you should be looking for as you tab through a web page. Put your mouse aside and start by pressing Tab. The first thing you should look for is whether you can see where the focus has landed. This visual indication is called a focus indicator, and it's absolutely critical. Without it, keyboard users are essentially navigating blind. They have no idea which element they're about to interact with. Focus indicators are often styled as an outline, a border, a highlight, or a combination of these. Different websites style them differently, and that's fine. There's no single correct way to design a focus indicator. What matters is that it's clearly visible and has sufficient contrast against both the element and the background. As you continue tabbing through the page, ask yourself, does every interactive element receive focus? You should be able to reach every link, every button, every form field. If there's a custom control, say a drop-down menu built with JavaScript, can you interact with it using only the keyboard? Next, consider the focus order. Are you moving through elements in a logical sequence? Typically, this means left to right, top to bottom, at least for left to right languages. If focus suddenly jumps around the page in a confusing order, that's a problem. Users should be able to predict where focus will move next. Here's a critical issue to watch for. Does focus ever become trapped? Focus traps are serious barriers. Imagine you tab into a modal dialog, but then you can't tab out of it or close it with the Escape key. You're stuck. You'd have to refresh the entire page to escape, losing any work you'd done. This is a critical failure that must be fixed. Now let's talk about tools that can help visualize focus order. There's a tool called the Silktide Accessibility Checker, available as a Chrome extension. One of its features is a focus order visualization that draws lines showing the path focus takes as you tab through the page. This is incredibly useful during design reviews because it can reveal focus order problems before you even start coding. Here's what you should document when keyboard testing. First, identify any interactive elements that don't receive keyboard focus. These are critical failures. Second, note places where there's no visible focus indicator or where the indicator has insufficient contrast. Third, document any focus traps. Fourth, note any unexpected or illogical focus order. And fifth, identify repetitive content that should have a skip link but doesn't. One more thing. Some websites use access keys or keyboard shortcuts, either single character keys or character keys with modifiers like Control or Command for navigation. These can be helpful, but they can also interfere with browser shortcuts or assistive technology commands. If you encounter keyboard shortcuts, test whether they can be turned off, remapped, or are only active when the relevant component has focus. This is important for keyboard users who might accidentally trigger shortcuts. Keyboard accessibility isn't difficult to test, but it is easy to overlook if you're used to using a mouse for everything. I encourage you to practice navigating websites with your keyboard even when you're not formally testing. You'll develop an intuition for what good keyboard accessibility feels like, and you'll catch issues faster.